Hello guys, this is Mike from McProgramming.org. I said we were going to get into databases in this next tutorial. I decided that we probably just need to go over making sure we have a database to even set up, and then go over the configuration to be able to even connect to the database. And then in the following tutorial we will go over migrating that database. So in this tutorial, first we're going to actually need a database. So on Laravel Homestead, that comes packaged with MySQL. It's on the command line, so unless you're familiar with using MySQL on the command line, which can be a little bit tricky because you're not using a user interface, that's for somebody more comfortable with using MySQL commands. But if you want to use a user interface to make things a little bit easier so you can graphically see what's going on in the database, I recommend you download some type of SQL database. So I'm going to show you a few. The one I'm going to be using is SQL Pro, and you can download this for free. If you have XAMPP, MAMP, or WAMP, or any of those prepackaged simple web servers, it will come with PHP My Admin included, and this is also a very easy way to deal with a database. But like I said, you probably should be using Homestead, or you can access it through MySQL Workbench or SQL Pro. I'm going to be using SQL Pro. But let's go back into our Laravel project so we can go to our configuration file for our database. Alright, and where we're going to go for that, not database, we're going to go to config, and in here we're going to go to database.php. Let's go down, and I want to use MySQL as our database, so this looks good. And inside of here, we can use SQLite, MySQL, PostgreSQL, or SQL Server. So I'm going to be using MySQL, and like I said in a previous tutorial, we don't want to hardcode our password or username or database or host. Well, host doesn't really matter too much, but we don't want to hardcode these values in for version control issues or anything like that where users can see our information. So we have this in our environment file, and this is an environment variable for that file. So let's go back to our .env file, and db password, which equals secret, maps to password right here. Right here is a default of what will happen if Laravel cannot find these environment variables. So put in these as its backup, but it shouldn't have to. It should be able to go right into our .env file and have localhost, homestead, and secret. So in the next tutorial, when we actually set up our database migrations, we're going to connect to the database and use this database, this username, and this password, and you can change it if you want. I'll show you where you can do that. So in the next tutorial, we're going to go into actually using our database and set up the fields we're going to need to start coding our blog site.